The sun has barely broken the horizon over the Palm Springs Valley. Yet, there is a 20-year-old already grinding on the practice asphalt who isn't just glad to participate. She is a seeded contender. Absorb that reality. Alexandra Eala, seeded at Indian Wells. If you brush that off as a trivial detail, do not go anywhere, because we are looking at far more than a digit beside a name. We are talking about critical mass. We are talking about the precise second the entire tour wakes up to the fact that the Filipino phenomenon is not merely on her way. She has arrived. Let me break down why this shifts the entire landscape. At just 20 years of age, Eala strides into her debut Indian Wells main event with a seed next to her name. That guarantees a bye through the opening round. That guarantees ranking points in the bank before she even uncorks a single serve. In a WTA ladder this suffocatingly competitive, that is absolute currency. And make no mistake, this was not a gift. She fought for it. Check the data. She has already vaulted 19 places this season alone. 19. You do not surge like that off a solitary fluke performance. You do it by piling up victories in the shadows while the cameras are focused elsewhere. From Abu Dhabi to Auckland to Dubai, 3 distinct venues, 3 wildly different environments. And in the Emirates, she shocked Jasmine Paolini to notch her 10th triumph of the campaign. That victory was a declaration of war. You do not defeat Paolini by accident. You either dominate her or you lose. Now, look at the trajectory. Eala's win rate currently sits at 62.5%. That is a tangible step up from her previous season's average, and it signals something crucial. She is not just getting hot, she is getting solid. She is forging the kind of consistency that distinguishes a fleeting hype train from a legitimate threat. But here is the wild card that turns this tournament on its head. She is defending absolutely nothing here. 0 points. Every single victory is pure profit. No anxiety about slipping down the ladder. No defending points to bleed. It is a free shot at a Masters 1000 event. And a young competitor playing with house money is the most dangerous opponent on earth. Picture stepping onto the court as a 20-year-old seed with 0 liability and infinite potential. That is not stress. That is a golden ticket. And she is entering this arena with her eyes wide open. The training logs at Indian Wells are out, and her hitting partner is telling Laura Siegemund. Veterans know Siegemund is a tactical mastermind. She is also 17 years Eala's senior. 17 years. We are not just talking about veteran status. That is a whole other lifetime of courtcraft. This sparring session is vital because Siegemund is still elite. She cracked the Wimbledon quarterfinals just last season. She isn't a relic. She is a contender who knows exactly how to manage a game. She masters the tempo. She knows the grit required to outlast opponents in 3-set marathons on the gritty, slow, hard courts of the desert. For Eala, there is no better preparation before walking into a Masters draw, because success here isn't about the highlight reel. It is about grinding. It is about lungs and legs. It is about discipline. These are the crucibles where rising stars either evolve or crumble, and we need to be real for a moment. Eala has taken her lumps this year. She fell to Coco Gauff, Ekaterina Alexandrova, Camila Osorio, Alicia Parks, and Jinyu Wang. But look closer at that resume. That is battle-hardening. She is consistently clashing with the upper echelon now. She is stepping onto the premier stages, adapting to diverse strategies. That is not sliding backward. That is growth. Let's be blunt. Dropping a match to Coco Gauff isn't a failure. It is a benchmark. Every prodigy needs those reality checks. And consider the landscape right now. The tour is in flux. The giants are there, certainly, but the gates are wide open. Aside from a few titans, the draw is up for grabs at a Masters 1000, which makes Eala's seeding fascinating. Being seeded means you bypass the heavyweights in the opening brackets. That is not just a perk. That is a strategic advantage. It buys her time to calibrate her shots before the real wars begin. And for a rookie, rhythm is oxygen. Let's widen the lens. Eala isn't operating in a vacuum. She shoulders the dreams of an entire nation waiting for this explosion. The moment her sneakers touch a major court, the internet in the Philippines catches fire. That momentum is real. The California crowds adore a Cinderella story. They crave new blood and raw passion. Eala delivers that electricity. If she secures just 2 victories, the fans will adopt her instantly. So here is the question that should keep you up at night. What if she survives into week 2? With a clean slate on points? With her confidence surging and the draw protecting her, a quarterfinal run doesn't just bump her ranking. It catapults her into a new stratosphere that redefines her entire career. Climbing the rankings gives you easier brackets. Easier brackets feed your confidence. And confidence? That is the fuel for winning. It is a self-feeding loop, and we might be witnessing the ignition of that engine right now. However, a warning. The desert is ruthless. The courts are sluggish, the air feels heavy, rallies drag on forever. If your legs are not elite, you will be exposed instantly. That is my main focus. Does she possess the physical durability to survive 3 brutal wars back-to-back against veterans? The training block with Simona is the litmus test because she refuses to give you a groove. She is a disruptor. She chops the ball. She loops it high. She drags you to the net. She grinds down your patience. If Alexandra navigates that minefield calmly, it is a massive green light. And here is another detail I absolutely adore. She has already banked points just by earning that seed and snagging a first-round bye. That safety net is invaluable. Even with an early exit, she gains ground. That freedom allows her to swing without fear. Let us analyze the mental aspect. Many rookies crumble under the weight of expectations when they first see a number next to their name at a major event. They play scared. But looking at her season, she is running toward the spotlight, not shrinking in the shadows. Dismantling Paolini was no accident. That was ice-cold composure. She did not panic when it mattered. She did not rush. That signals a maturing game. So here is my forecast. Do not expect a quiet week from her. Even if she falls short of the trophy, she will push a giant to the brink. I predict at least one 3-set thriller that sets the grounds buzzing. And if she goes deep, the entire narrative flips. She stops being a prospect, she becomes a threat. I need to hear from you guys now. Drop your honest takes in the comments below. Is she truly ready to crack the top 20 this season, or is this ascent happening faster than logic dictates? That is the debate. Is she ahead of the curve or right on time? Personally, this feels like the natural progression. Her climb has been steady. It is not built on hype. It is not built on viral clips. It is built on brick-by-brick improvement, and that kind of growth lasts. Indian Wells might be just another stop. Or it could be the arena where the tour finally feels her weight. Mark the date. Her first time seated in the desert. Nothing to lose, the world to gain. We might be about to witness the start of something legendary. If she walks away with another ranking surge, do not claim it was a surprise. The clues were screaming at us. This is a wave, and momentum is the only thing that matters.